What's up, folks? Welcome back to the vlog. I'm gonna keep this one very simple. I'll be right here in my car as I share this story. I want to talk about my sobriety journey with alcohol. So April 26th of this year was my birthday, but it was also a 1-year anniversary of my sobriety with alcohol. I really just chose my birthday as a way to honor myself and honor that decision. I still believe that I am going to stay alcohol sober indefinitely, but if that changes, then that changes. But there's a couple key moments that I want to talk about that kind of led me to that point. My first story is the first time that I drank alcohol. So I'm 14 years old. I'm wearing a purple and gold Lakers t-shirt. I have puka shells and I have long hair braces at this time. Kind of a quirky looking kid, and I'm gathered around in my friend's kitchen for a kickback. Someone's sibling or cousin had gotten us alcohol. I'm sitting there and I'm holding this shot of tequila, and I'm my friends are recording me and they're telling me not to go and then to go, and so I sputter my first drink of alcohol. It is terrible. It's like tequila is all up in the wrong places of my throat. And that is my first shot of alcohol. I don't like it, but I have maybe one or two more later that day. And it was very low key. We just hung out at the house, chatting, playing games, sitting around and watching stuff. So that's my first drink of alcohol. Over the course of high school, I go to a couple more kickbacks just like that. And it never gets too wild. We get a little giggly and it's fun. Then I go to college and there are dances on campus, and I have friends who acquire alcohol and then go to dances with me. I black out multiple times, but I think it's fun. I think it's normal. I think everybody's doing that. I actually ended up in a hospital 2 different times due to drinking in undergrad. Again, no one really addresses it. No one really sits me down. I have a lot of friends, but not anybody that's paying that much attention to what I'm doing day to day. And again, maybe I just downplayed it. So college kind of goes in waves like that until I turned 21 and I started going to breweries. And I also started going out to nightclubs, and it just seems like a blur, but it's fun. Everyone's doing it. I black out a couple more times. Don't really take a second to notice. And again, my social circle is so big that I can't tell all of these stories to every single one of my friends. And at the time, no one's really thinking or counting. That's where I realized, retroactively saying these stories now, is that no one is paying as much attention to you as you think. Everyone's too busy, going through their own lives and motions. And unless you're really being self-aware of these choices and these happenings in your life, no one's taking notice and no one's keeping count. So in post-grad, one of the jobs that I needed to get, and the only job that I could really get, was working at a bakery and being a nightclub promoter. And being a nightclub promoter was terrible because, again, had a lot of blackout nights. I came home and I didn't even know how I parked my car in this really tricky spot that I used to have in one of the houses that I lived in. But I came home and I always laughed it off with my friends, oh man, what a crazy night. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was hilarious. And I never really thought, man, it's not good to not remember and your memories of a night, and many, many nights. I have no idea how many times I've blacked out in my life. And then COVID happened, and it took away all of the social things that I was able to do, go out with friends, go drinking with my friends in public and in large crowded spaces. I happened to be taking on a challenge to not drink for 1 month at the very beginning of COVID in March 2020. That feels like a decade ago and also yesterday. And it was a pretty good exercise for me. And for most of COVID, most of the early COVID years, I only drank a handful of times with my roommates, maybe a drink or maybe sips of things that my roommate, who's a really good cocktail maker, would make. And one of the first few nights that we were able to go out to bars and stuff, I almost blacked out and I felt terrible later. 2 weeks later, I almost blacked out again. I got sick. I got a cold, and then I remembered how many times I used to get sick when I was always drinking. I got sick basically every month because I was drinking a lot, not sleeping that great, waking up the next day super early to go do some more, go to an early workplace. I was damn, alcohol takes a lot of time and energy out of you. COVID has winded down, and obviously it's still very much present in our lives, but something clicked between 2020 and 2022 where I was every time I drink, I actually want a lot more than other people express that they do. Some people can drink 1 drink per night and be totally happy with it. Some people can drink 4 and then be totally chill and stop. When I have 1 drink, I want 3. When I have 3 drinks, I want 10. And that is not an impulse that everybody has. And for me, the decision for stopping drinking, now that you've heard all of these stories and like a little bit of like my thought process as I went through this in real time, is it's wild. Like, you might be able to see like, oh, that's not something I can relate to because I've never even blacked out, or I can count the amount of times I've blacked out. I can't. I realized that it's a lot easier for me to eliminate the decision of drinking than to try to control myself and pace myself. Because when I'm out and about, and once I have that lower inhibition, nothing matters. I just want another drink. The money doesn't matter. The cost the next day doesn't matter. The questionable decisions that I happen to have over that night doesn't matter. I just lose it. And I found it a lot easier just to eliminate that decision, like I said. And that's why I'm sober now. That's the story that I wanted to share today. Wherever you are in your sobriety, I'm by no means an expert, but take the time to understand yourself. Take the time to understand your patterns and what in your life may have caused them. I think that stuff is like a whole other story time for a different day. I'll probably get into it in the future. But for now, I just wanted to share a timeline of events that led me to my sobriety. And for now, I'm 1 year sober and I'm sticking to that. And what I'm really grateful for is the amount of like non-alcoholic alternatives like beers and wines and like things like that exist, because I still get the flavor and like that. I really enjoy the flavor of beers and tequilas, but I can't control myself with them. I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you for listening if you listened to this whole thing. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.